Good.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Enterprise Adventure event. We're going to be talking about how to launch your business and how to win a prize. So hopefully this is an exciting topic for everybody. My name's Christoph, and as you can see, we have Elizabeth here as well.
Hi.
And we are the organizers of the Enterprise Adventure. So when you're using the app, if you're ever wondering who's behind it, that's Elizabeth and myself. And yeah, we're very much looking forward to today's session with you all. So I want to start today with a poll. So I want to understand a little bit where in the Enterprise Adventure you all are. So I'm going to launch a poll, which you'll see on screen. And I want you to tell me up to which mission have you completed so far inside the Enterprise Adventure app. So I want you to pick the option that applies for you. And I want everyone to vote. So please vote on the poll that has appeared on your screen. Okay, answers are coming in, and it's very interesting. So a couple of you haven't started yet, and that's absolutely fine. Hopefully today you'll get a flavor for the Enterprise Adventure, and you'll want to take part. And then I can see quite a few of you are around phase 4, phase 5, and some of you have completed phase 5, which is great. So you're all at different stages, but that's okay. This is relevant for all of you because we're going to be talking about all the phases and also what's coming next. So thank you for everyone. Oh, more people have arrived, more people voting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you 1 more minute to vote and then we'll move on.
Mm-hmm. Yes, as
Actually,
Christoph says,
vote,
it doesn't matter where you are in the program. This is for the benefit of everyone, whether you're just getting started or you're in the middle of the program or you've finished everything and I'm not sure what to do next. We hope that this is valuable information for all of you.
Absolutely, and thank you, Elizabeth. And whilst the last few people vote, can people tell me in the chat bar what kind of business are you working on? So just give us a brief description. I'm interested to know what kind of business have you planned, or what kind of business are you planning right now through the Enterprise Adventure app? So use the chat bar, let us know what kind of business have you planned or are you planning right now? I know lots of you by name, and I know that you've planned businesses, so don't be shy. Okay, so Johanna is installing home solar systems in villages. Wow, that's an amazing business. Really, really cool. Thank you for sharing, Johanna. Who else is willing to share in the chat bar? I want to get a sense for what kind of entrepreneurs do we have in the webinar today. Leisha says she is selling preschool literacy workbooks to make learning the alphabet engaging for all children. I absolutely love that business. I know, Elizabeth, I think you're a fan as well.
Yes, absolutely. We love the animal alphabet here. Oh, old cloth recycling, selling it to the poor, cost-free. Excellent. We love a recycling business.
Yeah.
Very environmentally friendly.
Yeah, very, very good. Anybody else keen to share? Feel free to put it in the chat bar. We're interested to know what kind of businesses are you planning? Okay, I'm going to end the poll now, and I'll share the results with you all so you can see what everyone says. Gilbert is planning on setting up a sewing factory, and Mifra has a business whose vision is to take education as a tool for the empowerment of people through webinars, sessions, and more interesting modes. Well, that's great. Hopefully you can get a bit of inspiration from this webinar for your own business. And finally, Ritika is setting up Healthy Heart Sugarless, which is a cup which can detect the amount of glucose and make a sound if it's too high. So that's to help people with heart disease and infection. So that sounds like a very advanced business.
Wow.
Yeah, very
I would get
impressive.
that.
Okay, so thank you everyone for sharing. Hopefully you can understand we're all at different stages of adventure. You've all planned very different things, but what you have in common is that you're all adventurers, and yeah, hopefully we have a good session for you now. Okay, so now I want us to do a mind map together, and I would like you to describe your experience so far in the enterprise adventure in just one sentence. And to do that, you're not going to use the chat bar. We're going to use a tool called Mentee Meter. So Elizabeth is going to put a link in the chat. You can either click on that link or you can scan the QR code on the right-hand side of the screen. And then I want you to tell me in one sentence, what has your experience in the enterprise adventure been so far? Okay, so I hope you're all managing to access the Mentee Meter okay, and go ahead and send your answers to the question of describing your experience in just one sentence. Okay, answers are starting to come through. Someone says it was an amazing experience. Someone says the enterprise adventure is absolutely marvelous. Someone has said an incredible learning experience that has taught me the basics of business in such a fun and interactive way. That's great to hear. Someone says, I became a passionate person because of my business and enterprise adventure. That's really, really nice. Thank you for sharing your experience. Okay, we'll give you 1 or 2 more minutes to vote. Well, not to vote, sorry, just to share your experience. So one sentence via make sure you vote via the Mentee Meter. Someone says, I'm really glad that I got to voice my opinion during this interactive presentation. That's really nice.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Lots of people saying thank you for the presentation. So thank you very much.
Yes, it's great. Well, we take all opinions and you can leave as many comments as you wish, and constructive criticism is also highly valued.
Great, so moving on, I want to talk a little bit about the topics we'll be looking at today. So firstly, we'll be looking at the journey in the enterprise adventure so far. So we'll be talking about the community, the missions, of course, and the prize winners for part 1, planning my business. Then we'll talk a bit about what comes next. So we're going to watch a video called Taking the Plunge, which I'm really excited to show you. And then we're going to do a quick quiz to make sure everybody was listening during the video. Then we're going to share some top tips for winning a prize. So we have a $1,000 prize available. And by attending this webinar, you're going to get exclusive tips. So, you're going to be glad that you came. And right at the end, we're going to allow 5 minutes or so for questions and answers. So if during this webinar, you have questions that come up in your mind, don't worry, there'll be time at the end where you can ask them. And yeah, we're going to be going for about 45 minutes, hopefully no more than that. Okay, so the community. I want to give you some facts and figures about the Enterprise Adventure community. So the app has over 1,500 young people registered. And those young people are from 104 countries around the world. Between you, you have completed over 9,000 missions, which I just find completely incredible. And 240 of you have completed the business planning part. You've completed part 1, so you have a fully formed business plan for your own business, which is incredible. And I just want to take a moment to celebrate all of that. It's so special to think that we have, young people from, all these countries completing all these missions and planning their own businesses. It's an incredible achievement. And the reason I'm showing you this is basically to show you that you are part of an amazing global community. So I just wanted to say well done for that. Now, I'd like to take a little bit of time to talk about the missions, which is the journey to plan and run your business. So these are the missions which you can find inside the Enterprise Adventure app. And the app is divided into various phases. So in the first phase, which is called Discover, you learned a little bit about business. And in the second phase, you identified the things that you care about and the needs of your community. In phase 3, you came up with business ideas and you chose the idea that your business is going to be based on. And in phase 4, you took that idea and you investigated it. And then in phase 5, that's when you really started to build your business. So you started coming up with a brand, marketing, your sales pitch, and so on. So in phase 5, your business really started to take shape. All these phases, they are part of part 1, which is all about planning your business. And the winners of this part, they were already announced on the 20th and the 21st of April. I know one of the winners at least is here. I saw Alicia's here. So we had 7 prizes available and they were announced back in April. After we announced those prizes, we announced that actually the Enterprise Adventure doesn't stop there. We have another phase called Run, which is all about actually launching and running the business that you have planned. So this part 1, it was a little bit theoretical. It was coming up with a plan inside the app. But part 2 is about turning that plan into a reality and actually launching the business that you've planned. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today. And the missions which relate to this are mission 20 and mission 21. And they are already available inside the Enterprise Adventure app. So if you haven't seen them already after this webinar, I recommend you go and check them out. So what comes next? In a moment, I'm going to show you a video called 2 Adventurers Take the Plunge. And that might sound like a slightly strange name. I mean, taking the plunge, what does that mean? So I want to show you the definition of taking the plunge. Someone who takes the plunge is someone who commits to a course of action, even if they're not sure or they're a little bit nervous about that action. So it's kind of almost taking a risk and just going ahead and doing something, even if you're not sure how it's going to go. And that's exactly what today is about. It's about, you know, you've done all the planning, now you need to take the plunge and you need to launch your business. So to bring this to life, I'm going to share a video with you. So if you give me one moment, I'm going to bring up the video. Elizabeth, please let me know when you can see that.
I can see it.
Great. Give me a thumbs up if the volume is okay, Elizabeth, yeah? All right. Everybody watch the video very carefully because we're going to have a quiz after the video. So I'm going to be checking that everybody was paying attention. So please listen carefully.
Hello, I'm Tom. I have lots of ideas for the bakery of my dreams. I've been planning it through the Enterprise Adventure app. I've already done market research, designed my logo and created my sales pitch. Actually, launching my bakery seems like a big step though.
Hello, I'm Kavita. I did the missions in the Enterprise Adventure app too. And through my research, I found that supermarkets throw away lots of perfectly good food. I'm going to create a mobile app that allows supermarkets and shop owners to sell items that are about to go out of date. Shoppers can pick them up at a bargain price.
I've decided I'm going to launch a small version of the bakery that I planned. I'm going to ask my family and friends for utensils and I'm going to buy enough ingredients for 3 cakes to begin with. If I manage to sell those cakes, I'll use the profits to buy my own utensils and more ingredients to make more cakes. My dream is to have my own shop in a town, but for now I'm going to sell from a stall outside my parents' house.
I've realised that making a mobile app requires skills that I don't have yet, so instead of building an app from scratch, I've set up a basic website for free on Wix.com. My website will act as a billboard. I've already been to all of the supermarkets in my area and spoken to the owners and managers. I gave them flyers that explain what my business does. Some of them are very interested in my service. I'm going to charge them to advertise on my site.
My cake sales are going really well. I sold my first 3 cakes in no time. Each time I made a sale, I recorded it in my finance sheet. Thanks to this, I know that I've made £15 profit so far. When I spoke to my customers, they said they would like to buy cookies and brownies too, so I'm going to start making those next.
It's been 2 weeks since I set up my website and started advertising. People are now using it to find out where they can pick up bargain foods. So far, I have partnerships with 2 supermarkets, but I hope to have many more soon. I'm so proud of myself for launching my business. Although it's not the app I had planned, I'm really happy to be tackling food waste in my area. If you have an idea for a business, I encourage you to go and launch it now.
The key to success is to just give it a try and make sure you listen to feedback from customers. Good luck.
Great, so that was the video. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so we just heard the stories of Tom and Kavita, who are two young entrepreneurs who have been using the Enterprise Adventure app. So now I want to do a very quick quiz to see who was listening. So I'm going to go through a few questions and I want you to very quickly type what you think the answer is in the chat bar. Okay? So I'm going to start the quiz now. Question 1, I want to know, what kind of business has Tom set up? So in the video we just watched, what kind of business? Yeah, people are very quick. People are already saying bakery, so well done. That was the correct answer. Tom has planned and set up a bakery. So where does Tom sell his products currently? Yeah, in a stall outside his parents' house. Exactly, exactly. So Tom, in his business plan, he was going to open a proper bakery in a shop, you know, in town. But obviously, when it came to actually launching his business, he realized that requires a lot of money. So what he's done, instead of setting up a bakery shop, he's doing baking in his parents' house and he's selling it from a small stall. And that's kind of one of the lessons we want to communicate today, is that you might have grand ambitions for your business. You might be planning to set up something quite big, but you might need to start quite small. And that's absolutely okay, as we can see with Tom's example. Okay, slightly more tricky. What kind of business has Kavita set up? Yeah, Ritika says a grocery business. Anybody else think it's something else? Any other answers? Ayesha says app for grocery. Any other answers? Food waste support, bargain groceries from supermarkets, resale of bargain online. Yes, exactly. So those are all correct. So Kavita, in the sort of identify and investigate phases, she realized that the businesses around her, like supermarkets and small shops, they were wasting a lot of food. They were throwing food away because they couldn't sell it anymore, but actually that food is still okay. So she came up with a really innovative service of an app where shops can advertise the food that they're about to throw away and people can pick it up at a bargain price, which I think is an amazing business idea. So according to the video, what challenge did Kavita face when it came to launching her business? What challenges did Kavita face? So she planned this grocery app, and then when it came to launching, yeah, lots of people are saying that she doesn't actually have the skills required to make an app. She doesn't know how to code an app. So obviously that's a big challenge. So my next question is, how did Kavita overcome the challenge? How did she carry on going even though she can't create an app? Exactly, Lisha, well done. She made a website on Wix, which is free. So, you know, that shows us that sometimes we have plans and we think we're going to be able to do something, and when it comes to it, we realize actually we're not able to do that just yet. And Kavita probably, you know, she can teach herself to code an app, or she can hire an app developer. But a very quick solution to her problem was, instead of using an app, it was just to use a website. And nowadays we can set up websites for free. for example, with Wix.com, but there are many others out there. So this hopefully shows you that, whatever it is you have planned, it might be challenging, but there might be a simpler version, and maybe that's what you can launch. So yeah, hopefully there's a good lesson there. Last question, I want to know from you, so tell me in the chat, what is the most important thing you learned from this video? I want everyone to answer. We should all have a takeaway from this video. So let me know in the chat, what's your biggest takeaway? What's the most useful thing you learned, or the most important thing you found out? Okay, lots of messages coming through. So Elombe says you should just give it a try. Absolutely. Entrepreneurship's all about trying, and it all begins with trying. So just give it a try. Ritika says, if we want to make something, we have to start with something small. Absolutely. So that's what Tom showed, didn't he? He had planned this big bakery, his own shop, but actually, to begin with, he's selling free cakes from a stall, and that's working really well for him. Daria says we should learn to overcome challenges. Absolutely. That's one of the key things about the enterprise adventure. It teaches you that, life and business is full of challenges, and you need to find creative ways of overcoming those. Elomba says you can find simpler ways of doing things. Absolutely. Setting up a free website is simpler, than coding an app from scratch, which is great. Mifra says we have to take the plunge. Absolutely. Leisha's got a really nice insight here. Don't be afraid to adjust your idea based on your skills and capital. I think that's a fantastic piece of advice. Thank you, Leisha. And Joanna says change can be good. Absolutely. Absolutely. People are saying never give up. Opportunities are everywhere. I think that's a really nice piece of advice from Kangne Jean-Jacques. You should give your business idea a try. And someone here says, if you can't do something, find the alternate, but don't give up. And I think, yeah, that is definitely one of the overriding moral of the story in this video. So thank you very much for sharing that.
Yes, just finding opportunities wherever they may come. If there's a good opportunity coming up and it means changing your business, having a smaller scale business, then just go for it. Just take the plunge. You'll learn a lot that way.
Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, so moving on. So this is probably the section I think a lot of people were looking forward to. I'm going to be sharing with you some top tips, basically, to increase your chances of winning a prize. So everybody listen very carefully now. I'm going to go through them one by one. So the first tip is really obvious, is launch your business. That's what this part of the enterprise adventure is all about. And if you want to win a prize, you have to have launched your business. And as we learned from the video, it's okay to launch a slightly different business to the one you planned. And it's okay to launch a slightly smaller version than the one you planned. So you might have planned something big and complicated, and that's great. And that can be your long-term vision. But we want you to launch now. After this webinar, you should go away, and in the next few days, you should try and launch maybe a small version of your business. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is you have to make sales. It sounds obvious, but a business has to make sales in order to be, functioning, in order to be operating, in order to be real. So you need to sell a product or a service to real people. So ideally, you should be selling it to people in your community. And you need to sell it for real money. So you can't be giving your product or service away for free. You have to sell it for real money. That's what a business is. A business has a product or service which people think is valuable, so they're willing to give money for that product or service. And that's something that you have to do if you want to be, if you want to have a chance of being chosen as a winner. The next thing you need to do, and this is really important, all entrepreneurs must do this, you need to keep track of your finances. So you need to keep track of 3 things: it's your costs, your income, and your profit. And to do this, we have a finance sheet that's available inside the app. You can find it in 2 places. You can find it in Mission 20. So if you open up Mission 20 and you scroll to the bottom, you'll find it there. And you can also find it in the Resources tab. So in the Resources tab, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the finance sheet is there. And it's really helpful. It helps you keep a list of your costs. It helps you write down your income. And then at the bottom, there's some boxes to help you with the calculations to calculate your profit. So do make sure you use the finance sheet. And in Mission 21, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but in Mission 21, you'll be asked to upload a photo of your finance sheet. So make sure you follow the same format as the one we recommend in the finance sheet. Point number 4 is to take photos. So, you're about to take the plunge, you're about to become a real entrepreneur. We really want you to document the process with photos. So once you have your products or your services, whatever they are, so for example, in Tom's case, it could be, a photo of his cakes. But yeah, take photos of what you're doing. And take photos of you making sales. Like, we want to see you in action. So, for example, we could have a picture of Kavita out talking to supermarket owners and setting up partnerships there, because she has a partnerships-based business. For Tom, could be a picture of him handing over a slice of cake to a happy customer. But it's really important that whilst you're running your business, you take photos, because again, in Mission 21, you'll be asked to upload those photos as evidence that you've run your business. So yeah, make sure you take photos. And the final tip is that in order to win a prize, you must complete Mission 21 by the 12th of June, 2022. So today is the 11th of May. So it's basically 1 month. So from tomorrow onwards, you'll have 1 month to launch your business and then complete Mission 21. So the trick, I think, is finding the right time to complete Mission 21. You need to do Mission 21 inside the app after you have launched your business and after you've run it for at least a week, So what I would suggest is go away today, go to the app, do Mission 20, do that today or tomorrow, and then launch your business, and then come back to the app in June, at the beginning of June, maybe, around the 5th or the 6th or even the 10th. And that's when you do Mission 21, because you want to have been running your business for as long as possible before you report back, because you'll have more to talk about. You would have made more profit. You would have taken more photos. You would have talked to more customers. And that's what we ask you about in Mission 21. So do Mission 20 now, and then do Mission 21 in June, before the 12th of June. So 12th of June is the cutoff. On the 13th of June, we will cut it off, and everyone who submitted on time, their answers will be sent to the judges. So we use expert judges who are not me, not Elizabeth. We have people outside who are entrepreneurs themselves. They're business experts. They work for big companies. They have their own businesses, and they're the judges of this competition, basically. So yeah, really take your time, launch your business, and then report back by the 12th of June in order to have a chance of winning a prize. And I want to tell you a little bit about the prizes we have available. We have a top prize of 1,000 US dollars. So the very best entry will win 1,000 US dollars. And then we have 2 runner-up prizes, which are 750 US dollars each. So there are three prizes in total, 1 top prize, 2 runners-up, and everyone who completes mission 21 will receive a special certificate. You'll receive a certificate that says that you completed part 2, running my business. So that certificate, you know, kind of says basically you're an entrepreneur, like you've done it through the Enterprise Adventure app. And this certificate looks great on any CV. So whether you're applying for work or applying for university or whatever it is, you know, you want to impress, you can put that on your CV and it will look great. So make sure you do mission 21 by the 12th of June. The question we get asked often is, you know, is it too late for me, and so on. If you're, you know, some of you are on mission 19 right now, so you can get to mission 21, no problem. Some of you might be on mission 5 or on mission 10. That's also absolutely fine. As long as you get to mission 21 by the 12th of June, you will have a chance of winning one of these 3 prizes, and you will also receive your certificate. So wherever you're at in the Enterprise Adventure, I want you to know it's not too late. You are still in with a chance of winning. Okay, so moving on, I promised you we'd have 5 or 10 minutes for questions. So now is the time. So you can ask us anything about the Enterprise Adventure, and you can do so by using the Q&A button. So please use the Q&A button, click on that and type your question, and Elizabeth and I will try to answer them now live. So you have an amazing opportunity. You have us here. You can ask us anything. So please go ahead now, and yeah, we'll stay here and we'll answer the questions. Okay, already we have questions coming in, which is great, and I'm going to answer a couple of them now. So I'm going to start with Ratika's question. Ratika has asked, how do we advertise? So the answer to this is, you can advertise your business however you like. It's completely up to you how you advertise your business. Different types of businesses probably require different types of advertising. So I'm going to refer back to the video that we watched. Tom, who has his small bakery, he can probably just put up the stall on a sunny day and sell to people who walk past. So he might put up a few signs around the neighborhood saying cake sale around the corner, for example, or he might just post in some local online groups. For example, if his neighborhood has a Facebook group or a WhatsApp group, he could post on there, say, hey everyone, I'm going to be selling my cakes at this location at this time. Here are the prices, come and see me, you know, and so on. So that's one way you can advertise. And Kavita, she has her business, which kind of requires partnerships with supermarkets. And in the video, she said she went around and visited those shops and actually spoke to the owners. And that's a form of advertising as well. And she said that when she spoke to them, she left them with a flyer. So she had created a flyer for her business, which had information about her business. And that's how she created interest for her business. So there's no one way to advertise your business. You have to think, what type of business do I have? Who am I trying to sell to? And then how do I best reach those people? Is it with physical things like talking to them, or brochures, or word of mouth? Is it through flyers? Is it through social media marketing? There's so many different ways. You have to be creative, and you have to pick, you know, something that's going to work for your business. And I encourage you to try more than one. Try more than one method and see what works for you, Ritika. Okay, I hope that answers your question. I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay, so Elombe says, how can the enterprise adventure help us have a complete manual on enterprise, like action plan, strategic plan, operational plan, and financial materials? So that's exactly what the enterprise adventure does. So there are 21 missions inside the enterprise adventure, and you complete them one by one. And when you get to mission 19, you will automatically receive your business plan. So the app will take all your answers from mission 1, 2, 3 up to 19, and it will put it together in a beautiful business plan document, and it will send it to you, and you'll have a PDF that you can keep on your computer or you can print off. So by doing the missions, you're doing a little bit every day, you're just answering a few questions, doing a bit of research, putting your results inside the app, and then the app actually creates the business plan for you. So all you have to do is follow the instructions inside the missions. Every couple of days, do a new mission, and when you get to mission 19, you'll receive your business plan. So I hope that answers Elombe's question. Mifra has an interesting question. She asks, how can we introduce our service or product to the customers of our competitors? So, yeah, I mean, when you're new in business, you're a new business that's just arrived, you know, maybe there's quite a few competitors already around, you know, it's tricky to insert yourself. So there's no one single way of doing this, but definitely reaching out to people who you know use another similar business and letting them know that you now exist, I think is a really good way. So, you know, Tom with his bakery, he might actually go out onto the high street and hand out flyers to people, letting them know that he has a bakery. The other thing he might do is he might, you know, go and stand outside a supermarket, for example, where people are going in to buy food, and he might just say, hey, just to let you know, I started up this new bakery and you can find it at this location, and here I am. So yeah, definitely sometimes you have to use little tips and techniques to kind of steal your competitors' customers. And then hopefully once they've tried your business once, they like it more than the competitor and they stay with you. So I hope that answers your question, Mifra. Aisha has an interesting question. Aisha says, my business is quite ordinary in that I will make art and sell it. Does it affect my chance of winning a prize because the concept is so normal? First of all, I wouldn't necessarily describe it as ordinary. It's definitely not a bad thing. I think making and selling art is a perfectly valid business and is a great thing to do. And you shouldn't worry because it does not affect your chance of winning a prize. So we don't, you know, the judges don't put a lot of emphasis on the nature of the business. It's more about how it has been executed. So for example, making and selling art, you've described that as quite ordinary. So is there a way in which you can make that less ordinary? So for example, like, yes, you're making and selling art, but maybe your marketing methods are quite extraordinary, or maybe the type of art is extraordinary, or maybe the way you reach your customers, or maybe the way you take payment is a little bit exciting. So don't worry about the nature of your business. It can be an ordinary business, as Aisha says, that won't affect your chances of winning a prize. It's all about, you know, how did you execute it? We want to hear, we want to see photos of you in action. We want to hear that you've made some money. And we want to, we'll look at your answers to mission 20 and mission 21. And it's the people with the best answers there that will be chosen as winners. Okay, lots more questions coming through. So I'm going to take the time to answer some of these. So someone says, those who stopped this is an example. So if someone stopped at mission 5, should they reach mission 20 prior to reaching mission 21? Yes. So if you're currently on mission 5, you need to do mission 6, mission 7, mission 8, mission 9, all the way up to 21 by the 12th of June. So don't skip missions, don't go straight to 21, go through the full planning process. So when you get to mission 19, you'll receive your business plan, and then mission 20 is all about launching, and mission 21 is reporting back on your experience running your business. So yeah, don't skip missions. If you're on mission 5, don't worry, you still have a month, which is plenty of time. Just do a couple of missions every day and then launch your business. So I hope that answers that question. Wow, loads of good questions coming through. Mifra again says, some people she has reached out to refuse to take service from her, considering she is just a team. So how can I build trust in them? So yeah, I can totally imagine that's a big challenge. So the enterprise adventure is aimed at teenagers, and we're asking you to do something, but normally it's adults who do this. Normally it's adults who launch businesses, but we're encouraging you to do it as a teenager. So definitely an extra challenge you're going to face is that you're young and you're just going to have to find ways, whether it's good communication or good presentation skills or good negotiation skills or good, persuasion skills. You're going to have to use those skills to make your potential customers realize that even though you're just a team, your business is great and it's just as good as a business run by an adult. You're going to have to, really, it's an extra challenge that you face, but it's totally doable. So don't be disheartened. If you talk to someone and they don't want to buy from you, they don't want your product or service, don't worry. Maybe, you can ask them why, get some feedback from them. And then based on what they say, maybe you can change the way you approach the next customer, or you could change something about your product or service. If they tell you, no, this is low quality, or maybe you'll have to improve the quality. Or if they say, I don't like the color, or I don't like the style, whatever it is, the feedback they give you, you need to consider it before approaching your next customer. I hope that answers Mifra's question. So, okay, we have an interesting question here. Daria says, my business idea is to publish a book of poems or stories, which I think is a really, really nice business idea. Well done for coming up with that. And Daria has 4 questions. Question 1, Mission 20 asks if we have the supplies or finances. I personally don't have the money, but I plan to borrow it from my parents. Should I write yes or no in the answer box? You can, when it asks you if you already have the supplies and finances, you can say no, because you don't have them right now, but then you can explain, I already have the supplies and my plan is to take a loan from my parents, for example. If that's your plan, you can put no and you can explain it in the box. In Mission 20, there's not really a right or wrong answer. It's just to try and get you to think. It's almost like it's a checklist of things you need to think about before you launch. Have you got the supplies and money? Sounds to me like right now you don't, so you can put no, but you can explain like, I have a plan, I'm going to take a loan. So you can explain that in the box. So that was question 1. Question 2 is, if I choose to publish it online, it may not require money. So then what should I write in that column? Well, if your business doesn't require money to be launched, then you can say, yes, you already have it. And you explain, I'm going to launch it, you know, using a free website, for example. Question 3, I will sell my book through a publisher or e-commerce. Great idea. I love that idea. And you said, then how do I share the pics of sales in Mission 21? So in Mission 21, you'll need to prove that you made sales. You could take a screenshot from your publisher or e-commerce provider, and you could upload that as evidence. So when you receive your first payment, $1, $2, $5, however much it is, you can just take a screenshot and you can put that inside the app. Also, I may not require any finances if I launch it online. So what should I write in the cost of a finance sheet? So in some very rare cases, it's true, there are no costs to launching a business. For example, yeah, if you're doing a purely online business and you really don't need anything, or some people, they make handicrafts completely out of waste. So there's no cost, they just have to go around and pick up the waste. And it's fine to put, if that's the case, you can put 0 as your costs, but you need to explain that somewhere inside Mission 21 that you had no costs. And you really had no costs. Often, entrepreneurs declare that they have 0 costs, but it's not true. They are actually spending money. They're just not keeping track of it. And that's not very good practice. So if you do have any costs, even if they're small, do make sure you keep track of them in the cost section. Okay, so I hope that answered Daria's four questions. Thank you so much for asking those, because they're brilliant questions, and I'm really looking forward to hearing about your poems and storybook. I think it sounds like a great business. Okay, we're coming up to 1 hour, so I'm just going to spend 1 or 2 more minutes, and then I think we're going to call it a day. So I'm just going to scroll through the questions. Someone says, how are the winners selected? So the winners are selected by an external panel of judges who are all business experts. So on the 13th of June, we will take all of the answers to Mission 20 and Mission 21, and we will send those to the judges. And then they have a system which they follow, and they pick certain points for each of your answers. And then the people with the most points get shortlisted. So we'll probably have a top 5 or a top 10. And then the judges will pick the 3 prize winners from those top 10 who had the most points. So do take your time when you're answering, give thorough answers, explain your thinking, explain your reasoning, and yeah, make sure you upload, all the evidence that we asked for, upload the photos, upload the financial data, because if you don't do those parts, then the judges, they won't be able to pick you as a winner. So make sure you do those things. Okay, I can see we have Mercy here from Corona School in Nigeria. He says, can you do a rundown for us again? Yeah, I'm not sure at which point you joined. I'm sorry you came late. Unfortunately, I can't. We're wrapping up now. But what I'll do is Elizabeth will send an email tomorrow, and that will include the link to the recording from today's session. So you'll be able to watch it again. So don't worry. Tomorrow in your inbox, you'll have an email with this recording, and you'll be able to watch it again and really take in all the tips and all the information that we've shared today. Okay, that's it for today's webinar. I'm sure you guys have more questions, but unfortunately we've run out of time. So I just want to remind you that if you ever want to reach out to us, you can do so from the Enterprise Adventure app. In the bottom right, there's a tab called Help. Just click on that tab, and then there's a blue button which says Ask Us Anything. Click on that button and then type your question. Myself or Elizabeth will get back to you within, a few days. So you don't need to struggle alone. We're here to help you. Just use the Help tab, and we'll be really, really happy to hear from you and support you. And yeah, that's it. I just want to say good luck to everyone launching your businesses. Remember, you can launch a small version. You can launch a slightly different version to the business you plan. That's okay. Plans don't always go to plan, so it's okay to adapt. You just need to take the plunge, as we found out today. So thank you very much, everyone, and I'll leave Elizabeth to say a few words as well.
Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us and leaving your questions. And remember that if you do have any more questions, please just use the Help tab in the Enterprise Adventure app. I'd be delighted to get back to you, but it's been really good hearing from you, and I can tell you're all very excited about your business plans, and we can't wait to see what you've come up with. So thank you so much for your time showing up today.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, and bye-bye. Speak to you soon.